A lot last year about how kind of you guys needed to develop chemistry and that appreciation for each other that you always talk about. Do you feel like a second year with a lot of the same guys coming back that you're going to kind of start ahead of where you were last year on that?
For sure. I would suspect that those players that have been in and around the club for a year now, I mean, they'll feel so much more comfortable. We had a welcome meal on Sunday, and I remarked to some of the staff the atmosphere just felt totally different. Not necessarily better, but just players look more relaxed. Of course, we have some new faces, but there's no doubt everybody will be more comfortable and understanding of players and staff.
Obviously, just the first day, and you don't have Daniel or Cameron out here, but how are some of those new faces looking in just that first session?
Yeah, it's great. Everyone will be feeling the same on their first day back to work. Off seasons and long period, we're all at a point where we're ready to be back out on the field and working. It's lovely to see the new guys in town and interacting and working with the other players, but just generally it's just great to be back working and the players getting some of that energy out of their system. Within 2 or 3 days they'll be probably wanting a day off, but at the moment there's a lot of exuberance.
At this early stage, do you kind of look at the roster and say, okay, here's a few positions that we're still going to need more help by the time the regular season rolls around, or is it still too early for that?
I don't think anyone will ever say. I certainly wouldn't. There might not be some help needed at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at the group, that may well be because of ill health, and issues surrounding injuries. I'm more than comfortable with the group that we've got. There might be the odd player added, but I wouldn't think many now. We're going to have a smaller group. There's more experience in this group from top to bottom anyway, and I certainly wanted the players that are here to be fighting for that, if not the 11, being in the 18, and I want everyone to see a way through to that.
You've talked a bit on the radio and things like that about how you don't necessarily see that you need to kind of change structurally what you guys do, but it seems like there's been an upgrade at some positions that might help you out. What is kind of the philosophy behind that? Do you think, kind of a lot of what we did last year with maybe some upgrades at the striker position or other places will be good enough to obtain better results?
I think there's a couple of things that may help us towards that. Every team wants to improve year on year if they can. We're no different. You've already alluded to the fact that we've got players that will have a year under their belt. I suspect that those players will be in a much better place for us to see a little bit more out of them. There were lots of things I felt we did very well last year. Defensively, in possession, creatively. Of course, you can always improve. The one area that we fell short was actually hitting the back of the net. That played uppermost in my mind, Mike's mind, when we were talking about additions, and I think a lot of teams try to find a way of adding goals. If you look at Cameron's track record, it's very good. Daniel, a tad more difficult to maybe judge, but he's a very, very talented young player and had a wonderful season last year at our level. I'm sure he's only going to get better. And Colton also is easy to see his track record. So therefore, you'd like to think that come what may, we've added some goals to the group. If we can maintain the sort of development that I saw last year in the rest of our play, we should be in a good spot.
Over the course of the year, you guys had some moments where you were really high last year, ended up finishing 8th in the East. Do you set a bar for where you want to finish in the table or where you want to finish at the very end of the year at this early stage, or is that something that will kind of develop as you see what you've got a little bit?
Look, everyone wants to be in that postseason. We certainly should be holding ourselves accountable for improvement. There will be other teams around the league looking at us and setting a bar that is nothing to do with us. there are comparisons and will be drawn just purely for the fact that we're going into MLS with Cincinnati. But I think it's crazy to be comparing yourself to any other team. We're a second-year team. We've, I think, done a very good job in our first year, but without a shadow of doubt, we will want to improve on that. Now, what that improvement is will depend on a lot of factors. As I've already mentioned, can we keep players healthy in a small group? Can we improve year on year with the players that have stayed? And probably as importantly as anything, are the players that are coming in, are they going to fulfil the role that we maybe lacked a little bit of last year? So there's so much that can affect where you finish, but for sure we want to improve, and we certainly want to be competing with any other team in our league for any silverware that's on offer. Anyone that's saying that they don't want to be top, they don't want to win the championship at this stage of the season, there's no point in starting, is there? Everyone's in the same spot.
Hello.
Tim, the floor is yours. Getting back to seeing some of the guys that you haven't seen in a little while, what was it like to kind of reconnect with some of these guys on the first day of training?
Seeing the guys, whether they have a belly or not, off the break. No. First days are always great because everyone's enthusiastic, passionate, and everything that has to do with what you want out of soccer. It's a great game, and it's nice to see everyone fresh. So, we're all happy. It's all nice, and it's a lot of fun on the first day. That's for sure.
Who came back with a belly?
Oh no. We're all good. Guys are professional off the field, which is great to see, and makes life easier as we go through preseason.
Last year, you talked a lot about how maybe some of the factors going into, only having played together since the beginning of last year, over the course of the year. Now that you've played with these guys a year, do you think that chemistry will help you guys going forward?
I think you build a culture in the locker room that everyone can kind of agree on, and I think we have that, and it makes life a lot easier whenever you have a stable culture, a stable environment, and we're all on the same page, so we know what to expect each other, and it's like just a smooth engine. Everyone's running on the right cylinders, and we're driving along just nice right now. So it makes life easier for the new guys as well. They come in, they see everyone doing it. It's not like they follow the sheep, but it's like, okay, this is what we want to be a part of. This is how can we build on it and go from there.
Yeah, does something like that, having had a culture established rather than having to kind of build it over the course of the year, help out from day one even?
Yeah, of course. It's just, it's an identity, for the first day. But now that this is round 2, it's just exciting. We just keep picking up from last year and keep moving forward. I think that's the goal, and we progress into a more successful year, and that's, I think, where everyone's on the same page about.
Obviously, it's just one session so far, but have you liked what you've seen out of the new guys that have just joined the team?
Yeah, of course, and it's funny because the touch is not there. It is there, but it's guys are a little rusty, including myself, and it's just knocking the dust off. So, everyone's passionate right now. It's fun. It's a good environment, and I think that's what we get to look forward to throughout preseason.
Yeah, is that what kind of the first sessions are all about? Is knocking that rust off and getting back to knowing each other again?
It's getting guys together, and off the field is one thing, on the field's another, and it's this thing with business and what we're trying to create. But it's just nice to kick the ball around with the guys and play some footy and enjoy the soccer while you can, and I think that's what we're doing right now.
Now that you have that culture or that identity established a little bit, do you guys kind of aim a little bit higher in terms of how the year goes for you guys?
Just like anyone else, it's like you look at the previous year and you want to do better. So I think the goal is obviously to be better than we were yesterday and keep moving forward.